Hey everyone, and welcome to the Open Minds podcast, where we try to open each other up to different perspectives and remain open-minded to all incoming thoughts and opinions. I'm Jake.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Niral.
And we're high school seniors from outside Philadelphia. While listening, we hope you guys keep an open mind with us.
In a world that's too closed-minded, we're here to help you open yours, 'cause we're the Open Minds.
So, guys, I've been thinking. Well, this is an idea of mine. I've talked to somebody about it, and they kind of gave me this idea, right? What if pants? You know how pants have a zipper in the front?
Yeah.
What if they had a zipper in the back?
Okay, so when Niral came to us today, he said, guys, I have a good topic to start the episode with.
Let me explain.
You got it. There's a ranking system, right? There is number one. There is interesting. 2 is okay. 3 is you getting a little off topic. And the last one
Why are you doing an accent?
I don't know. I just get it kind of felt natural.
Can we
And
do
the
this
last
the whole
one
podcast,
is
just an accent? Can we just
And the-
act like we're from New York or something the whole time? Let's do it.
I'm gonna finish my thought now.
Okay, so I keep going.
And then there's whatever you just said.
No, just okay. Can I explain this?
Can you?
We'll play this game for the rest of episode 5. But if you come up with a starter like this,
No, let me explain.
we will replace
Jake,
you.
can you give the man an
me
opportunity to
explain.
talk? This is one of the worst things I've ever
It was
seen
just- I mean-
anyone do. You are just silencing the opposite opinion, and it's ridiculous.
He was just so excited to say this, and then I didn't know it was going to be a poop pocket.
You didn't even give him.
Dude, it is.
You didn't even give him a chance.
I'll give you some inspiration behind this idea, okay? Have you ever seen, you've seen Friends, I assume, both of you?
I've not seen Friends actually.
Never in
Never
my
seen
life.
Friends. All right. Well, there's a scene in Friends near the end of the end of the whole thing, where Ross, one of the main characters, he has like leather pants, which are like really tight, and he goes on a date, and then he like goes to the bathroom and he can't pull his pants back up because they're too tight.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking is that solves the problem with having a zipper in the back because you don't have to take your pants all the way down.
All right, that's a good.
So then you just zipper off and you just take your shit.
My only question is though, how many people have this issue?
I think a lot. Like imagine like
Have you ever worn pants too tight that you can't lift them back
no
up?
kids. Like, when you were a kid, you're saying you never had trouble like getting your pants down and up. Like you
Never.
I'm gonna say that one missed me.
what?
Never.
Like that panic like when you're about to go to the bathroom and like you can't get your pants down.
I'll say there's a panic that I can't get it fast enough, but I always get it.
And I will say a comment. I don't know how deep we're getting to this topic on the podcast, but as an avid bidet user, I'm worried about splash zones. I'm worried about.
Oh, it'd get your on your pants. That would be
Exactly.
disgusting.
No, it
Listen,
wouldn't.
no, I think there's a use for this, honestly. I'm going to be honest. If you were able to just unzip and the zipper started at the top,
Yeah.
so that way you can just kind of, like it's like a flap. You know what I mean? It's not a whole zipper. It's like it goes all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
So it goes down and then you just open it. I feel like that would be so much easier than just
I think
pulling
this is
down
the
my
next
pants.
fashion trend. I'm not about to
Wait, okay, but here's an issue that
I'm really glad this is gonna be the first episode since I told my intended college that we started a podcast.
Hello.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah. Here's something. When
I'm
you
ready for the intelligent conversation.
when you kind of lift up to kind of wipe, you know what I mean?
Oh.
The flap of the pants is going to be in your way.
Why?
It's going to be in your way because of gravity.
If you go down like this,
Yeah.
how's it gonna be in
The
the way?
flap is going to be all here, dude. Think about it. You unzip it. And
You
it's
unzip
here.
and it's like on the edges.
No, but it's
Why
on the
not?
edges, and then you lift your butt up, and then they fall in.
Why do you lift your bottom?
Jake can't do this.
I'm really upset we started the episode with this. I'm also just concerned, like, this is the first time, like, your boss just posted the podcast on his Facebook group.
True.
It's like
It's
a really
okay.
strange time.
It's okay. Listen, we're teenagers. Anyways, but I feel like it'd get in the way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think it would.
I feel like it's just impractical. You'd have to latch it onto your thigh. You'd have to click it.
I don't
and
love
at
the
that
idea.
point, it's too much.
You know, just topic choice aside, I'm not a fan. I think
Why?
it's problematic.
I agree.
I think like it just isn't like it's very like not enough reason to create this. Like the issue,
There's
like,
no market for it.
Yeah,
There is a market
There's
for
no
it.
market. No, there is no market.
I-
It does.
Number
so
two,
even
number
if there
two,
is,
supply does not meet demand. There's not like there's not a demand enough, like high enough.
Okay,
even if there is a market for it, it does not solve the problem because the flap, it's going to make it more complicated because the flap is going to get in the way of the wiping.
That's like creating like a built-in like stapler that goes on your shirt. It's like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like-
something that's like okay, yeah, I could use this maybe once.
Yes.
But other than that, I will never.
Other than
use
that,
this
it gets in
product.
the way.
Imagine.
And also, it isn't that good at stapling because I have to pull my chest towards the paper. You know what I mean? It doesn't even solve the issue.
Imagine like you're going like to a party or like a club or something like that. The people wear like tight pants to look good, right?
Use the restroom before and call it a day.
Okay, but you're still wearing like tight pants. So if this, I think that's the market I'm going for. Okay.
Oh, we're going for
But,
the bathroom club market. That's what we chose here.
kind of like I mean everybody goes to the bathroom, Jake. Okay.
That is true.
I
That
feel
is a
like
true statement.
It's not like a defined market. It's everybody. You know.
I feel like the lesson here is not let's create a super niche product for a super niche market. I think the solution is just let's buy pants that fit us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's that
but, like,
simple.
I mean,
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like everybody that I've pitched this idea to has shot me down so far. So you guys are no different. But
That's a trend.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Niral. I'm gonna have to,
I still feel like it would be a good fashion trend. Like somebody could do it.
I'm vetoing it.
If it
Using
does-
my veto powers.
If it does happen, I want credit for it. By the way.
Okay, moving on from that conversation.
Moving on from the poop pocket.
Are we calling it the poop pocket? The poop pant pocket.
Oh my god, the PPP.
It's the worst thing I've ever heard. Let's talk about this weekend. What'd you do, Cole?
I made a short film for my boss, my ex-boss. He's working somewhere else now, but short film for some advertisement for his kind of website. He kind of has this book community, like kind of younger book community for like, just discussions and memes and like posts about, books and stuff like that. It's just like it's almost like a website book club for like younger people. You know what I mean?
That's just really cool.
I made a short film for him. I visited Pitt because my brother was looking at it. And, you know what? I started watching Justice is Gray, which is the Justice League. It's the Snyder cut, but in black and white because like Zack Snyder his true vision was having it in black and white. So I started watching that.
Interesting. How about you, Noel?
I didn't do too much. I slept a lot, and I started looking at like some scholarships for college. But other than that, not too much.
Well, I also visited Pitt.
Oh my God, did you really?
I was actually was with you guys the entire time to look at University of Pittsburgh because that's a prospective school of mine. And we went around the city doing like little food tours. We got Thai. That was so good.
Oh my God, I tried Thai food for the first time.
Really?
Over Pittsburgh, when we were at Pittsburgh. It was amazing. I just got pad Thai with chicken and shrimp, and I love it. The peanuts, the thin noodles, the sauce, all of it. I love it.
I love Thai food. I love pad Thai. I don't like peanuts, by the way, so I take peanuts out.
Oh.
But
I think they make it.
Yeah, they make it. I agree.
We liked it so much, and we got it last night too.
That's amazing. I need to have it again.
And
there's
then,
like 2 places in Phoenixville that have it. It's
Really?
good.
Can you text me those? So
I'll text you.
Okay,
we went to a place
thank
in
you.
Westchester that was really good.
Oh, okay, good.
And then we got like really good French food for brunch the next morning. We literally ordered like it was 4 people, and I think we ordered like probably like 8 meals.
Oh my
8 entrees.
God! Wow, that's crazy.
It was absolutely amazing, including a tableside crepe like flambe situation.
Oh my God, that's so.
It was
cool.
amazing. But yeah, it was a great introduction to the city, and I really enjoyed it.
That's dope. I say we move on to our first topic.
I agree. Let's spin the wheel.
It is my topic first again.
I feel like it's always
It's
Niral's
always
topic.
Really? Let's think historically.
Yeah, from episode 2. From
episode 2.
Episode 1 was you. Episode 2 was Niral. Episode 3 was
Niral.
Niral. Episode 4 was
Me.
Niral.
No, wait, but episode 3 part 1 was just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So then
like,
I started at 3.2. I guess that is still you.
Guys,
So,
trust me, the wheel is random.
yeah, it is random.
Okay.
All right, so my topic it's gonna be a little bit shorter, but flying cars.
Oh.
I was
Very interesting.
I was looking at it like last night,
hmm
such a cool thing. I
love
like.
them.
I love it so much. Thing I found out though, which is pretty cool, which I want to talk about. It like in the early 1900s, we had like early cars and early planes, and it was actually more fathomable to have a car plane, like a flying car, than it was to have like roads across the country.
Really?
And like, isn't it so cool that we took a turn to roads instead of flying cars?
That is kind of
crazy.
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about the
Crazy.
infrastructure of our like transportation systems. Isn't that just crazy?
Yeah.
Like when we were like, I was on the Pennsylvania Turnpike like probably 2 months ago, and it was just crazy seeing like there was like 18 like massive highways that probably cost like hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe even trillions. And like I feel like if that money was put into flying car research, it would be like a done deal.
And it's crazy too that like we don't think anything of it. Like honestly, every day I'm just like, oh yeah, there's a road. Yeah, it's a road. You know, nothing special. But if there was a flying car, I'd flip. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like holy shit! Like this thing's flying in the air right now.
Like we're still there. Like we're still like from 100 years ago. We had the same mentality to flying cars. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so sick. But like,
Do you think flying cars will like work more like planes, helicopters, or like some like a hover technology?
Hover. I'd say hover, but I've heard that cars are too heavy nowadays to fly like a plane. So I feel like it'd be some hover.
I feel like helicopters are probably the most effective though.
yeah, it is more like a helicopter. It's helicopter and hover kind of thing. And the problem is, I was looking at it last night. The problem is that you have to make something that's heavy enough that it can like withstand the rugged road and also fly.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like the engineers call it the unsolvable problem because there's no material that's heavy enough to like withstand the road and also fly. And I was looking at it, and it was Uber, Google, and I think Boeing spent collectively over $1 billion
my God.
for like flying car research. And I'm just wondering, how long do you think it is before we get flying cars?
100 years, I think.
100 years.
I think we're far away from it, personally. I'd say 80 to 100 years.
Wow.
Like, it seems super easy, like, compared to the things we've done. Like, creating the internet is far bigger of a accomplishment than a flying car. But, like, I think, like you were saying, like, the paradox of, like, the material, I think we're just not there yet. Like, we expected in the 40s, like, you see pictures of 2016 that they predicted in the 40s. They thought everybody would have flying cars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'd hope it'd be in 30 years, but I'm extending that to 100 years because realistically, you know, people in the 40s thought we would, but we
I
didn't.
think also, I think it's going to take a while just because, like, actually, no, I take it back. I think there would be way higher of a demand for it in the future just because of how old U.S. infrastructure is becoming. Like, roads have more and more potholes. Like most of our roads were built in, like, the 1950s. And like compared to other MDCs like Canada and Australia, we have some of the oldest infrastructure in our roads ever. So I think like there's going to be a huge demand for it in the future, in the near future actually. And I think like that'll probably prompt a lot of government research.
This is making me all so excited for a flying car. Like now I'm like, now I really want
I'm
one.
like terrified
You know
of
what I
that.
mean?
I was sitting there last night. I was looking at like test videos because there actually like are a bunch, and there are a lot of them that are really close.
Yeah.
Like there's a company called Aeromobile,
Mm-hmm.
which says obviously it's like probably what's the word, over exaggerating it, but like they said by 2023 they're available for commercial sale.
No way.
Which is crazy.
What do you
Yeah.
even mean?
But I looked at their test like flight video. It's exactly a flying car, and it's so sick.
No
It
way.
is
What's
so
the company
cool.
called?
Aeromobile.
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 Oh my God, that's
So cool.
That's crazy.
The ones that have been successful though, right? Though they use the helicopter technology, like the I've seen one where it has like 4 different circles, almost like a drone, and it's just like spinning.
That was one in Japan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, but this one has like, it's more like a helicopter where it has a thing in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and it just goes up, and there's like 2 wheels in the front.
Yeah.
something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Helicopters are dangerous though, aren't they? More dangerous than planes.
Yeah.
So
I
wonder.
love helicopters. I think they're so cool.
I think they're cool.
I
but
want a helicopter. Like I want a helicopter more than I want a plane.
yeah, I heard they're dangerous. Maybe it's only at low altitudes, like when you're flying a helicopter, it's like very dangerous.
Well, they can't. They stay in relatively low altitudes.
True.
They don't go.
Maybe it's just hearing the Kobe story. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, just hearing how like a pilot can mess up like that. I don't know, it's
Oh yeah.
freaky.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I am like terrified of heights, and like I don't know. I think it'd be the coolest thing in the world to have flying cars, and I definitely want to try one. But I don't trust myself to drive one.
Like I say, you don't have a license.
Yeah, no, but like, how would that work? Like, would you need like a separate license for a
Oh
flying
yeah, totally.
car?
I mean,
Yeah,
there was no way it would like carry over. I think
You'd need
you'd
training.
see. Do you think your like regular driver's license would just like go right out the window, or do you think wait, no, that's so scary. What if it's like a socioeconomic dynamic where like
Only rich
the
people have
poor
it.
drive on the ground, and rich
Yeah,
people
that's
drive on the
what-
ground. That's horrible.
That's what I want.
Wait, that could be like a
And,
cool
like-
like topic for like a book. You know
That could
what I
be
mean?
really
Like-
cool topic for a book.
or like some sci-fi world. Yeah, I actually think that is gonna be how it starts off for sure. Because I mean, that's how cars started. Only the rich had the cars. So I mean, as unfortunate as that is, I think that's gonna be the case.
And then it also comes into like global warming and like all that stuff. Flying car obviously emits more gas because it just needs more energy to fly than a car would. So I don't know. I feel like
Hear me out. Solar powered cars, flying cars. You have to fly next to the sun. Unlimited power.
so you can't fly at night.
No.
Well, I guess
night
you.
travel is just not allowed.
I guess you get enough power to
No, that obviously
fly
not.
at night, right? If it was solar.
Yeah.
No, that's complete joke. Actually, never.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, that's completely joke.
But like imagine
That
like
was a fake laugh, by the way, everybody.
like imagine like flying like a flying car.
I went typhoon so bad.
Me too.
Like imagine flying a flying car to like work. Like imagine landing on a skyscraper. Like
That would be
that'd
so cool. Imagine
really
just
cool.
landing like.
When we were in
your
Pitt,
home.
we saw like a trillion helicopters because Pitt actually. Wait, this is a stat they gave us.
That was so
they
cool.
have the second like most helipads in like the entire country besides like the Pentagon, which is like such a cool stat. And I think like if we see like imagine like driveways are gone and instead you just have like a helipad on your roof.
Oh my god! Now I'm like,
kinda dope.
Now you're making me like jealous of the future.
Mhm.
I
Like,
don't know.
And it's so crazy how like I feel like technology in transportation is so separated because you have like bullet trains and you have like regular cars and then like there's like fighter jets. Like there was one that just flew over our area the other day because President Biden was in Delaware County promoting the American Rescue Plan and the airspace was restricted, so it was guarded by fighter jets. And like a fighter jet literally went from Atlantic City to over our area in 5 minutes.
oh my god,
Like,
that's
it's just like
crazy.
so cool.
And probably most of that time was
Takeoff.
takeoff and
Exactly.
landing.
And it's like so cool to think like how separated technology in transportation is because you have like those high speed like one of those could probably take down like all of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Like think about like there's just like that
oh
degree.
my god, I never thought of
It's like
that.
kind of cool. And then like versus like someone's like 1994 Toyota Camry. It's like there's like such like a difference in how we perceive technology and transportation. And like I feel like if we just like merge those two worlds,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like it would just be better for everybody.
Yeah, I would agree. I definitely say there's a disparity there. Like you look at the trains in Japan, you know, well, their public transportation, I guess, isn't as much of a disparity. But what are they called? The bullet trains
Yeah.
that go at
Like the high speed trains.
yeah, what, like 300 miles per hour or something like that? Like we don't have that on the ground. You know, everything's up there.
There's like a huge push inside the Biden administration for the next big plan. Like we just had the American Rescue Plan. Like the next big bill will be an infrastructure bid. And a lot of people are pushing for Secretary Buttigieg to push for a high-speed like railway system throughout the United States, connecting like New York, Washington, Boston, and then like obviously places. I don't know how far you can go in the West,
Mm-hmm.
like, but I know there's been like a huge push
Yeah.
and debate in the party for that.
Is Buttigieg the Secretary of Transportation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like I knew that, but like I
Mhm.
just forgot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk has like a company called the Boring Company that has like that high speed tunnel.
Oh
It's going
yeah.
from is it San
It's in
Francisco?
LA.
Where's it going? Is it LA to Las Vegas or something?
It's something like that.
Yeah, and I think again, I don't know if that causes disparity. You know, like what you were saying, Jake. I don't think like there are people with supercars, but it doesn't make them like that much better. You know, like
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think flying cars would really perpetuate that.
True, and I do feel like
Well, no, I'm saying flying cars would bridge the disparity that we have in transportation right now. Like I don't know. There's such advanced transportation technology that is just not integrated into civilian life.
True, but don't we think there's a reason for that?
No. Well, there is obviously. It's like, what if we had like jets that didn't have JDAM missiles on them?
Yeah, true.
And like machine guns, and like radar technology,
true,
and like connections to the Pentagon. Like, what if we just had like less like fast jets that weren't made by companies like Lockheed Martin and cost $12 billion per unit?
Do you think Lockheed Martin can make a Batmobile?
I think they can make the coolest Batmobile in the world, and I actually need to see a prototype.
You know the Batmobile.
Why would they though? They would never do that.
You know the Batmobile in The Dark Knight and Batman Begins was real.
Yeah,
Isn't it so cool? That massive.
Well, it wasn't like the model was real.
Like it actually. Well,
it didn't have missiles.
It didn't shoot missiles, but it did. It did drive. Like
didn't someone buy it?
Maybe someone did buy it. But it's so dope, like just how big. Niral has no idea what we're talking about, but just how like big.
That's probably one of my favorite Batmobile models.
That might.
I think it'd be so cool. Imagine like, this is horrible. Imagine like U.S. soldiers like pulling up in like Iraq in Batmobiles. Like what's going on there? Like that says a lot about our country. And like, our defense.
Yeah, because it's actually a military thing, right? Isn't it or no?
No, the Batmobile,
the one they used in Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Oh, maybe that model looks very military.
Yeah, I think I heard that it was like actually a military
like design.
Design and device. But I don't know if that's true. So.
Oh my god, I actually really want to see Lockheed Martin make a Batmobile now, like so badly.
That'd be so.
I think it'd be so cool.
Have you seen the recent Batmobile?
No.
It's like
the one with Robert Pattinson.
With Robert Pattinson, it like just looks like an old timey car. Like that's it.
Do we like it?
I mean, I like it. Let me look up a picture of it. So,
everybody listening at home, take a second to look up Robert Pattinson's Batmobile.
Look up flying cars too. The pictures are so cool. I was showing Jake. They're so cool.
And then collect your thoughts as you look up each photo. All right, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually hate it.
Yeah, it's very like just car-y, but like with an extended engine.
No,
that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's absolutely horrible.
So
why is it like a Mustang?
I don't know. Yeah, see, it just looks like a Mustang.
I'm into everything else in that movie, though.
Yeah, I think Robert Pattinson's going to be good. Sorry, Niral, we totally shifted your topic to Batman talk.
I don't care.
Oh, that was great.
I'm Batman.
No, okay.
Is that pretty good or no?
That was the worst thing.
Is that
Please
terrible?
never do that again on this podcast. You'll be.
Can we all do our best Batman impression right now?
Not be participating. Niral, you can go ahead.
What is we have to say?
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I don't think Niral knows. What do you know what Batman like sounds like? Have you seen any Batman movie?
Well, I mean, I've seen him in Justice League.
And
oh
like my god, I can't believe Batfleck.
Batfleck, yeah.
I think Ben Affleck Batman was your first Batman impression. That's so sad.
That is kind of crazy.
Well, what does he say?
What the typical Batman lines?
Batman.
He says, "I'm Batman," or he's like, classic from the Nolan one. It's like, "Where are all the other drugs going?" Or like, he's like, "Swear to me."
Why isn't Ben Affleck like that?
I've
just
never
a different style.
Just a different take.
Just like an old man that's broken.
Christian Bale is much more like scary, like
he looks
fear.
like Bruce Wayne too. He like is Bruce Wayne.
He really is Bruce Wayne. That was the biggest issue with Ben Affleck was his Bruce Wayne was just like
horrible.
And his Batman. He's just not that good, but the Snyder Cut makes up for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts for
flying cars are so cool, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could.
They're dope. Yeah.
Cool. Alright. Yeah. Okay, let's spin the wheel.
What was this called again? The wheel spot?
Yeah, the wheel spot.
Oh, was it wheel spot?
We call it like, all right, this is a good wheel spot.
Got it. Why? No, I feel like it was something different.
No, that was it.
It was either wheel spot or wheel stop, and I think we decided on spot.
Wheel stop.
Well, yeah, because it's a combination.
Wheel stop. No, it's definitely wheel stop. I was like, wheel stop.
No, it was wheel stop.
That's what I was
because
doing.
We were like,
cool.
This is a good. It was a combination of this is a good place to stop. This is a good spot to stop. So it's wheel spot. To stop.
No, you said it's a good place to stop. Wheel stop. It's a good place to wheel stop.
The exact conversation we had last episode.
I think it's
exactly conversation.
Whose is it?
It is yours, Cole.
It is
Kelly.
mine. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about conspiracy theories because in the name of being open-minded, I feel like it's very important to expose yourself to, differing viewpoints than what the public believes.
Interesting.
And one of the keys of being open-minded is like always being open to challenging your beliefs, even if that means we reaffirm our beliefs in the
even
end.
if they're crazy, you know what I mean?
Even if they're crazy. Listen, these are some crazy ones. These are some crazy ones.
Are we getting into like cool things about companies or like Alex Jones?
We have now. I have three.
I have one in my mind that I've been thinking about recently.
Oh yeah, bring that up. I wonder if it's one of these, but I have three conspiracy theories. I'll just do like an intro and then we'll go through each one. But what do you guys know about conspiracy theories? I mean,
prior to everything that unfolded with him, like in the past 2 years, I was a huge Shane Dawson fan. And he was a huge like propagator of conspiracy theories. Like, talked about it all the time. So I know mine through him.
He did the Chuck E. Cheese pizza one. Yes.
Yeah, and I believe that.
I buy it too. He did a good job with it.
But I'll say it one sec. But he was my first like exposure to conspiracy theories before he became a crazy pedophile man.
Yeah, is he a pedophile?
Yeah, like I don't know, just really old videos of him are like horrible. The things he said about.
Oh, doesn't he say the N-word?
He has said the N-word, but like videos.
Let's
of him
not get into Shane Dawson.
Yeah, who cares? He's relevant now. The Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy theory is that they reuse pizza from other like old tables. Like if you go to Chuck E. Cheese and you get like a pie and you leave like 2 slices on the table, they will put those 2 slices into a new pizza and sell it.
Yeah.
And like if you look up pictures of Chuck E. Cheese slices, and then like it is,
and then you'll see
it's crazy. They look like the pepperoni like isn't cut correct. Like it's like not like proportionate.
And it's not a perfect circle. Like the crust you'll be going around. Like say you're looking around the pizza, the crust will just go down in one slice and then up for another slice.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that insane?
Everybody look up Chuck E. Cheese pizzas right now.
Like look, like the pepperoni isn't reciprocated on the other side.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Nasty, right?
No, and they say like they just sprinkle cheese over it, and then they send it after they take the reused pizza slices. Which I was never a Chuck E. Cheese kid, so
really? I went there a couple times.
I'm not too offended by this.
Yeah,
my dignity as a man is held.
As a little kid, I'd go there. We'd go there for like birthday parties, like little.
I think I've been there like once for a birthday party, but I would never go with like just my family.
Yeah,
I had an Incredibles themed birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. I would have loved to have that.
Okay, go into theory.
All right, so a conspiracy theory defined by Google is a theory that explains an event or set of circumstances as the result of a secret plot by usually powerful conspirators. Here's a recent theory, which is crazy. 25% of Americans believe there's some truth to the claim that coronavirus was planned and released purposefully. New York Times takes even a greater liberty and says 1 in 3 of Americans believe that.
That is insane to me.
It's a crazy stat.
It's a really crazy statistic.
I'm not saying they're crazy for thinking that.
I'm saying the stat is crazy.
Yeah, the stat's crazy.
I've thought about that too, and I'm kind of on the edge. Because, like, what I'm thinking is, right, China, right? And China's like,
man, I'm hoping the CCP never gets a hold of this podcast. Yeah. Because the 3 of us are on the blacklist immediately.
So China may, like, because when you get a COVID test, you got to get, like, the nasal swab, right? And it basically gets your DNA a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think there's a theory out there that China is, made COVID so that they could get everybody's DNA, especially in their own country, but around the world.
Around the world too. Yeah. Oh, fascinating. So, I mean, I had COVID 2 weeks ago, and I'm not going to lie, it was a very weird virus. Like, it felt like no other sickness I've ever had. If you told me it was man-made, I would not be surprised because of how just different it felt. I'm not saying
Elaborate on that.
I'm not saying I think it's man-made. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Talk about that a little bit more.
So my stuffy nose was like it just wasn't like anything I've ever had. It felt like there was like just a block in in my nasal region. Like I just couldn't breathe at all. I just felt like, I don't know. It just felt different. I don't know how to describe it, but it felt weird. So if you told me,
why did it feel man-made?
I'm not saying
it feel unnatural.
It felt almost a little unnatural, but I'm not saying it was man-made. I'm just saying that if you did tell me that, then I wouldn't be surprised because it felt different. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it being man-made would be like a reason for that difference, but I'm not saying that is the difference. I'm just saying if you said that, I wouldn't be surprised.
Cole, there's 3 people here, so I think
I'm the 1 in 3.
You might be the 1 in 3.
I'm telling you, I don't believe it was man-made. Like I haven't seen any evidence for it. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. My world wouldn't be like broken if I found it out.
I think like, especially in times like this, where so much has gone like so wrong for so many people, it's easier to like, I don't know. I don't want to paint like a group with this broad of a brush, but it's easier to like blame things on like a theory or like is some like deep conspiracy against you or against like your group of people, rather than be like, maybe I could have just behaved differently. Like, I don't know. Like,
I would disagree with that.
I feel like I don't believe it. I don't like this. I think it's just like kind of stupid.
I think
What's kind of stupid?
Like the theory and like
That it's man-made.
I think most conspiracy theories are just like, why?
Well, we gotta be open to them.
I know that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do, but like not like my grandfather died from COVID, and I don't think it's because like there's a theory out there that is like trying to control.
Well,
the
I
rest of the
feel
world
like
through
even if
DNA
it was
exposure.
man-made, like, I don't know, it wouldn't be less impactful. You know, it'd
Yeah.
still be terrible.
Well, I mean, it'd be more terrible. Well, of course, it'd be more terrible. It'd be more terrible if it was man-made.
So yeah, so then why are you saying people come up with these theories to be more comfortable? If that was
Well,
be more terrible.
to be more comfortable, like about themselves.
I feel like it's just so many conspiracy theories are just so far out of left field, and like I feel like they just have no basis in reality.
True. Yeah. I mean, I'd agree with that. That's why it's so hard to like at first like be like, okay, I'll consider this. Like if someone comes up to me with a conspiracy theory, I feel like my immediate instinct is like, what are you talking about? Like this is insane.
Wait, so is there actually any proof of coronavirus being man-made?
They have like witnesses, like that one doctor that was on Fox News that was like, you know, I worked in the lab
Yeah.
on it, but how do you back something like that up? You know? So there'd have to be actual documented evidence.
There's like a team from like the UN, I think, that is in China right now trying to figure that out.
Yeah, you know what I heard though is that like China didn't allow them to investigate it. So that is a little suspicious.
I think that's for several reasons.
Yeah, but that's just
Yeah,
China.
it's
Yeah.
China.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm open to the idea if it is. I don't think there's any evidence for it right now, but
See, the thing is with the conspiracy theories, like, there's never going to be conclusive proof
Yeah.
for or against it because it's far out of left field. So it's going to be like one of those things where somebody's going to say it, and you could say, oh, yeah, but there's this proof for it, and it's like circumstantial. And then there's other people who say, well, I saw something completely different.
mhm.
So I feel like that's a general consensus of conspiracy theories. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would agree that a lot of times they like just don't have conclusive like a lot of the stories don't align. There's not conclusive evidence or anything like that. But I wouldn't say that it's impossible. Like here, let's raise this question. Is there any conspiracy theory that you could see yourself believing, that you would say you believe right now?
Yeah, the one that I was thinking of before was aliens and aliens' contact with us. There was recently I watched like a Joe Rogan Experience podcast where he brought like this guy on named Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
Who
I've heard a lot about Bob Lazar.
who just told his story back from the 1980s about him working on reverse engineering what he believed to be a spacecraft, like an alien spacecraft.
Mhm.
And like there was evidence for it because he like brought 5 friends and they saw the same like alien thing. So I would see myself believing that one.
Believing that one. Okay, that one's really cool.
That is
That's
really interesting.
fascinating.
I mean, maybe I can see that too. Like a lot of Area 51 stuff, I guess. Like there's been videos about like fighter jets encountering UFOs.
The one with the
that's
Navy recently.
Exactly.
Tic Tac,
Where-
the
yeah.
Tic Tac one.
Yeah, the Tic Tac one. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
fascinating.
They said the TikTok one. I was like, what?
Oh, no.
No.
But I think the conspiracy theories that I'm more likely to believe are ones that are just like way lower stakes.
Yeah, mine's lower stakes. The one I believe is lower stakes.
Because I think like just some things like, especially with the internet, like nowadays, like I think you can't get away with as much as you used to be able to.
Yeah.
And like,
Wait, I feel like it's the opposite.
elaborate.
Because you can like fake anything. Like you can
Deep fakes.
Yeah,
That's
like,
true.
you
I
can-
think.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's opened different possibilities, but like before, like you could look up every like bill Congress has ever passed, or look at like the Department of Defense's budget and like every penny they spend. Like that all used to be like private information, and like who knew
True.
what was happening.
True.
Yeah.
I think like with technology, motives have changed. Like people have more like selfish motives,
Mm-hmm.
just because like it's become so much easier to become richer.
I don't know. I feel
But I
like
don't think.
because technology allows you to be anonymous, like from anywhere, you could like.
I don't think
anything up.
technology allows you to be anonymous at all.
I think it does. Like anybody can say anything, and you don't know the credibility behind it. You could like, it's so easy to fake stuff.
Yeah.
So I would disagree.
And it's getting better these days too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll see deep fakes even today, and I'm like, oh my god, that's not real. So Jake, would you say then that the one you would agree is the one conspiracy theory that you would agree with is not the alien one? It's just anyone that's probably lower. Is there one that like stands out specifically, or just lower stakes one?
I mean, I'm not like super widely versed with conspiracy theories. Like, there's ones that like Disney like pumps out like chemicals that make like sense to like draw you to certain like food attractions or like make you feel happier, and like people like it has been like apparently proven to like make you spend more money.
Oh wow!
Like through their like vent system, like that, like that's like such a low stakes thing that I could see happening.
Why is that a low stakes thing?
Because like it's like that. I feel like it's not like 500,000 people dying because of like some
If
random
there's a
government
scent that
actions.
can make you spend more money, I feel like that's pretty high stakes.
I say it's high stakes.
I
But
don't know.
it's
I
not
think
as,
it's not as high stakes as most conspiracy theories. I think that's like as low stakes as like conspiracy theories.
It's not as high stakes as like, oh my god, there's aliens here, like extraterrestrial
That's true.
life. But mine, I think, is probably the lowest stakes. I mean, it's still kind of big, but what I like probably
Wait, I think it's important to recognize these are all like I guess they all could be high stakes, but I think they have different degrees of importance.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the one I believe like 100% is just that like, and I think you guys will probably think the same way, but like Lee Harvey Oswald just did not act alone in any way in the killing of JFK.
I haven't taken the same words class. I don't know.
What are your thoughts on that, Niral?
I don't know. I feel like did the FBI like release some documents like 2 years ago or 3 years ago saying that they thought it was somebody else? I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory anymore.
I remember those documents coming out. I haven't looked into them, so I don't know. But I feel like the official statement like is still that he acted alone. I think it was the CIA, and so it's like kind of like with the mafia. So it's like this kind of government-wide thing, but it's on a smaller scale than a lot of other theories. But that's just what I believe. That's the conspiracy theory I believe.
Yeah, I definitely believe that one too. I think it's more Lyndon B. Johnson, but
I've heard the LBJ thing. The only thing with the LBJ is like, why would he kill him? Like, I understand that like LBJ wanted he lost the nomination. He didn't get the nomination because of JFK. Like, it was almost he had a political revenge motive.
yeah.
But why does that cause you to like kill him? You know what I mean? It seems too ridiculous to me that he's like, oh, you know what? I lost the nomination and like I've been seeking this presidency my whole life. I'm going to kill JFK, you know?
Yeah, but there's like a lot of other things about that because like there was like a photo of him ducking like 20 seconds before the first shot was fired.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then there was like the wink on the plane.
Oh, I did not know
Like
this.
when he was being sworn in, he winked, which was like crazy to me. And I was like, he did it.
Is that purposeful though?
What? The
I feel
wink?
like the wink.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like
there's-
sometimes there's people can just twitch and they wink.
I know, he like winked at somebody.
Oh no. Okay. Oh my.
That's crazy. I know. Are you getting this from like?
So yeah, I took a class here. We have a class called Cold War Seminar, where our teacher like he kind of gives us some information. We talk about the JFK assassination, and then
Yeah, I have
that's how I learned all of this.
I haven't taken that course, so I'm relatively unversed.
I don't know. I don't know who it was. I mean, I think it's the CIA, but I can't say that for sure. What I do believe for sure is that he didn't act alone because it's just far too suspicious, like what happened. You know what I mean? Like the notes, the interrogation with Oswald disappeared. The FBI didn't do anything about him, although I believe the White House told them about him before the president came. The route of Kennedy slowed down. It was like an illegal turn, which made the motorcade go to a certain speed, which was way too slow. And then just the fact that Oswald was killed 3 days later, like something's going on. So that's a conspiracy theory I definitely believe. But anyways, to get a little bit more into the crazy stuff, well, not crazy stuff. I don't want to call the people who believe this crazy, but I was thinking we could kind of explore the flat Earth theory, that kind of
I've
belief.
actually like watched a lot of videos about it. Like I don't subscribe to it in any capacity, but I think the fact that like it's just so human centered. Like the whole idea of it is like humans are innately special. Like I think like the round Earth as we know it makes people so insignificant.
Yeah.
Like, it makes human life and evolution so insignificant in comparison to the rest of the universe. The one thing I appreciate about the flat Earth theory is it makes humans like special and gives us purpose, I think.
I'm glad you brought that up because actually I wrote that down. Like that is like the one of the biggest reasons people actually believe the theory is because for some reason they feel not comfortable like being a monkey on a round ball. But to me that's the same as being on a flying disc.
Yeah, I don't know how it makes you innately special.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's the same. Just the world is a little bit flatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people like it's connected to Christianity.
Yeah, so it's rooted greatly in the Bible. Like
Yeah.
Genesis describes a flat Earth with a ice wall around it. And so
exactly.
a lot
So
of them
like people
are
have said like
religious.
that it is God's creation. Like it relates directly to like the concept of human dignity and human importance and like an anthropocentric view of ourselves and our existence on this earth. So I think that's the one thing that I appreciate from it. I think it like makes I don't know, it gives me I feel like if it were to be true, it would give me a way different purpose on this earth.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'd be the same for me.
Same.
I'd just be like, wow, if it was true, I'd be like, wow, this is weird. Why is Mars observed to be round and we're a disc?
Yeah, that's what it's like. Because the flat Earth, I don't know, 100%, but they believe that everything else, like Mars, everything else is round, but we're the only flat Earth.
Yeah,
which is weird.
That
was
confuses
like,
me. I didn't find, unfortunately, anything that like people challenge that and they're like, oh, well, this is the reason. But I think it is because like, you know, we're humans and like God created us. I know they believe that this is it. Okay, I remember. They believe that the flat Earth was manufactured by a being like greater and bigger and better than us, like whether that be a god or not. So I guess it's like in a way unnatural, but I'd assume that same being they're talking about created Mars. So
yeah, like I don't understand why there'd be a difference. You know?
Yeah, I don't understand either why that being would be like, let's make a round one and then let's make a disc for the special.
But like
ones.
everything else is round.
Yeah,
The only
exactly.
disc.
Yeah, I have no idea what I mean. Like that's another thing. Like since there's no like official like flat Earth organization, we can't like look at their constitution and see like what they believe. Like it's just a theory. You know?
Yeah.
And so there's gonna be like different adaptations of it.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a crazy stat: 2% of people on Earth believe this.
That's not
Crazy to me.
I think that's crazy. That's millions of people.
I'm more concerned about a third of the population believing that COVID was man-made.
I think that's a third that say it's probably true. So the stat that I had, the 25% was that 5% believe it's definitely true and 20% believe it's probably true. The New York Times just said 1 in 3 believes this, but I think they meant like 1 in 3 check off, like it's probably true.
Yeah, so it's how many people? Like 10 million people? Would you say 2%?
2% of the Earth? No.
Yeah, that's not close. It's like
Because it's 7 billion. 7 billion. 2% of 7 billion.
I don't know. I feel like I would say it was less, like around 10 million, maybe.
I think it might be.
That
It's at least 100 million.
Is it at least 100 million?
It's got to be.
it's 140 million.
140 million. Okay, that surprises me though.
Like
That surprises
that's a third of the United States population. Like,
Where do you think these people are?
I think
Do you think they're largely rooted in the United States?
no. I think they're probably in I don't know, maybe underdeveloped countries. I'd assume. I don't know, honestly.
I feel like I'm doubting that stat now because like
I think it's from Nat Geo, but it could be.
because like how do you know like what people in Indonesia believe about the flat Earth? You know.
True. Yeah. Well, you know what? There's probably a pretty big margin of error on that. Yeah, because 140 million people. Like, I feel like it's
huge.
I feel like it's a known thing that the Earth is round. Or sorry. Well,
I see a new stat from Forbes saying only 2/3 of American millennials believe the Earth is round.
no.
There's
No.
no way that's true.
That's yes.
Okay, so something we're learning is that some of these stats are a little.
34% of adults aged 18 to 24 believe that the Earth is flat.
I think it's key to.
Yeah, I don't believe it at all.
I think it's key. Each of these stats I've gotten, they just don't tell me a margin of error. So that is definitely suspicious. Okay, so I kind of did some research to watch videos for actual evidence of this. Like I needed to be like people, like there has to be evidence in order for people to be die hard this. So I wanted to find it. And I searched forever, and I didn't find any evidence. I only found like refutes of evidence for like, the boat.
I don't think there's going to be evidence. I think it's an idea to make people feel important, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
But the only evidence I found were refutes of evidence for the Earth is round.
What is the thing about gravity that they believe? It's like weird. Like they don't believe that gravity exists.
I think they believe that just like things fall down everywhere, so then we must be flat. You know what I mean? Because we live.
Because I thought that was
flat.
evidence for the flat Earth was that gravity was not real or something, so that like we can't be round.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's that like gravity doesn't make any sense. Like as a round ball, like we have to be flat in order for things to drop,
something like that,
or something. But anyways, I found no evidence, and the only thing I found, as I was saying, was refutes of evidence. So like the boat.
And you never prove something by disproving like another such argument. I believe that. Like,
exactly, absolutely, I agree. But so there was a boat over the horizon theory. You know how you see the top of the boat first?
Yeah.
They say it's something with heat. Something like that. To explain it, they're like, oh, well, it's heat that makes you, like, it's an optical illusion or something like that. But they never kind of went in depth for that. Anyways, the one evidence I found is from Marilyn Teed, who is a flat earther. And her evidence is, you look at the horizon, it's flat. That was her one evidence.
Wait, what's her name, Marilyn?
Marilyn Teed.
We should have her on.
We should have her on, because I would love to hear the perspective.
I mean, I don't want to brand them as that, but I feel like that's a very naive. Like, I feel like all their evidence is very naive in its thinking. Like, oh, because I see it's flat, it has to be flat.
I think you're using the word naive because you want to say something else.
What word?
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the Earth, like, because the horizon is flat. Like, that's just how you like.
Yeah, I was trying to be cute, but I would stupid in a nicer way.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we just take a moment
in a more open-minded way
to challenge our beliefs right now? Okay, just think a little bit. Like, what if the Earth was flat? Okay, that was quick. I don't believe it. I think it's just okay, even if it's for a second that you challenge your beliefs, like. Just be open to challenging them. I know that this is totally out of the reign of truth.
Do you think there's a range of things to challenge your belief on, or do you think you should just like unilaterally challenge your belief?
I think you should be able to challenge them all the time, even if it's for like literally
like we just did it for multiple.
Like we just did here. Yeah, as long as it's important to think about for a second, like, wait, what if the Earth is flat? And then you're like, oh nope, there's multiple things throughout for the past 2,000 years that have proven against that, But
one of the things my dad says all the time is like, "How do you know that I'm your dad?" You know, because like
True.
the only proof that you have is I told you I'm your dad, or like, because like there's no real proof that he's my dad or my mom's my mom. It's just like they told us that, right?
That's a good point.
I think again that's like refuting evidence instead of like having your own argument.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's the only reason I would like. Is there a conspiracy that everybody says the Earth is round, so now you have to believe it, and then people are like, okay, well, it's not.
Yeah, true. That gets to my thing, though, that like, all right, let's just go with it. Let's say the Earth is flat. Mm-hmm. Why would this be, or not, how would we be able to have a globe-wide conspiracy where every scientist in the world is in on this and is lying to us? How is that organized?
Like climate change?
Yeah, my point.
Like 99% of like medical professionals believe in climate change.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, and that's still like there's still a huge percentage of Americans that don't believe in climate change. I guess people around the world, not just necessarily Americans.
Yeah, but like NASA, they believe their whole purpose is to keep the flat Earth under wraps. They believe that's their whole purpose, that whole government department. So my question is, what's the point of keeping it a secret? How does that? Why would the government go through all this trouble of having? I fundamentally believe one of the most difficult things is unifying people under a common goal. So how could the government unify millions of people and under a goal to lie to everyone that the Earth is round?
I mean,
how is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of theories that can happen because of that. Like, because government doesn't want people to be Catholic or Christian, so they just say the world is round, so you don't believe the Bible. Or it could be like the government knows something that's bigger than what we know, So they're just saying it's round.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like, how can so many people be in on it and like unilaterally in on it, and there's been no like leakage?
Yeah, that's it.
It's just not possible. People don't. Or I think it is possible, but it's literally, I think, one of the most difficult things is to unite people like that.
Mm-hmm. I think like that's an interesting like idea that it's made to counter religion. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean that's what like I think people who believe in that would say.
Okay, gotcha. Because I mean, historically, look at the influence religion has had on government.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like led to
obviously
coups, revolutions, failed states, history of the church. Like you talked about, like religious wars. Stuff like that. Like, I mean, maybe.
So how do you?
But I don't know how that's possible to unite that broadband of like a group on something.
I want to raise just kind of like a final question. Like, how do you feel that? Do you think stuff like this is dangerous? I feel like we've kind of lost a sense of objective truth in our world. I don't know if it has ever been a thing, but do you think it's kind of dangerous?
No, I think now you have me doubting the existence of objective truth in society.
Like, you think it never existed? Maybe
not. Maybe like the I guess like maybe that's another influence of technology. Like the idea to share like alternative truths, which is such a good crazy just think about that word, that phrase, alternative truths.
It's what's that
paradoxical.
Called? Yeah, it's paradoxical. Yeah.
Like the ability to say that, like, and to share those ideas to people around you, and really create an echo chamber, of ideas, and kind of just like forcing like the same sentiments upon the same group until it becomes truth, and you have two truths.
Yeah, nothing's concrete these days, I feel like. Like, especially, I mean, in the nutrition field, but I will find, like, an article that says bananas are the healthiest thing, and I will find an article that says if you have a banana every day, like, you will literally have cancer in 50 years. And then we talked about deep fakes earlier, and you can fake anything, you know what I mean? And now we have this kind of, these conspiracy theories, which are challenging everything we've ever believed. So, has this always been a thing? Is there any way to combat this? Like...
I mean, I feel like there's always been a thing because there's always going to be people who believe something different than what's generally believed. I don't know. I go back and forth on whether it's dangerous or not because I think it's important to have a constant, like, challenge to truth because if, like...
Well, that's science, right?
It might be even more dangerous to have purely objective truth.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's good to have people who disagree and who have like an opinion that's other than what everybody else has just because it can check your own opinion, but it does become dangerous, I feel like, you know.
I totally, you know, you just swayed me. At first I was totally thinking like this idea of not having objective truth is like totally like super dangerous because like, you know, we're rejecting the very facts of our world, but you're kind of swaying me that like it's important to challenge those always. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as just truth. You know, we're discovering it. And in order to discover it, that involves challenging it every time. So,
yeah, I think I go back and forth because I feel like they become so convincing that like, and they're not rooted in any actual evidence that they become dangerous.
I think it becomes dangerous when you think you're so right, when you aren't open to challenging it. Like we should all be open to challenging, but then it gets to the point for some people where they're not open to it at all, and then it becomes dangerous. And you say, no matter what, I know this is a fact.
Exactly.
And that's where, you know, we kind of get into a gray area.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Wheel spot?
Yeah, well, no wheel spot. My topic.
Which is collegiate admissions and kind of our college experience. So what I want to do is we'll talk about it relatively briefly today. And then I want to pick up with the first episode after March 1st, when most colleges have May 1st, sorry. When most colleges have their enrollment deadlines by. For deposits. So... like personally for me, I'm the oldest in my family. I'm sure it's been really different for you, Cole, because I mean you've had 3 people go through this before you, and you're the second oldest.
He's the youngest.
I have one brother.
You have one brother. Okay, so your brother's been through this whole process already. Okay. So for me, it was absolutely out of left field. This like I understood the testing and grades part of it, but then like
the essays, how to tackle the essays differently, how to answer like parts of the Common App differently, the whole Common App in general, of like including every information about your family for the past like 50 years, your grandparents, relatives, everybody who's ever gone to these universities, and so much, like so many different things about yourself. Like it is such a culmination of your entire identity that is judged by like 6 people around a table, which is just so interesting. So like that's what's made these acceptances, deferrals, waitlists, and denies so much more like important to me in a sense, because like I feel like it's like, here's everything that I've ever done in my entire life. Here's my entire family's financial information for the past like 10 years.
Yeah.
Here's everything that like my origin.
Yeah.
Everything that makes me who I am. Tell me if you like it or not. Like,
It's honestly-
or tell me if you want to wait till you tell me if you're like it or not. Like that
Yeah.
type of stuff.
It's
And-
almost like the mini version of Judgment, like the religion version of Judgment.
Oh, like the final judgment.
Yeah, the final judgment, and God being like, okay, hell.
Yeah,
Like
it's
denied.
It's crazy
or
because I
heaven.
mean, people
Accepted.
will argue that it's not true that your like college like decides the rest of your life, but like your college experience decides the rest of your life, right? Like how you orient your studies, and stuff like that. So I do think it is just so monumental.
It feels personal, you know, like when you get a
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Denial.
yeah, it's 100% personal.
It
It's like
feels
here's
so
everything that I've
personal.
ever done my entire life. Shoot me down, or like make me
Exactly.
make me the happiest person in the world.
Yeah, true. And it's like, it's
And
not.
waitlists are even worse. It's
There's
like
no
wait till you
between.
tell me. Like
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
2 wait lists this
Yeah.
week.
I got 2 wait lists overall. Yeah, but I
gotten-
think it's key to remember that, like, I don't know, college isn't your life. You know what I mean? Like, although it may determine.
yeah, but it
things-
feels like a judgment of your life. Like that's
It does.
that's the striking part about it.
It does, but I mean, like, in the sense that, like, if you don't go where you wasn't your number one, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. You know,
Like you're
there's-
still in control of your life.
you're still in control. Exactly. You have to make the best of
Yeah.
what you have and not let other people decide your future for you.
Mhm.
You know.
So what I want to talk about a little bit is admissions rates, college prices, average family income, SAT scoring, and especially through different financial brackets,
Yeah.
and then enrollment rates
Yeah.
in collegiate admissions. So before that, let's talk about our story so far, about like basically how we've done. So we are fortunate here at Devon to have maybe like the greatest college counselor of absolutely all time.
100%.
Yeah.
We won't name drop just because I don't name drop without permission. That was a glance from Cole. I just we'll wait to get permission. Our college counselor is maybe one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my entire life.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
period.
And it's constant. You know. She always says like.
He or she always.
He or she always says like, you know, the kind of relaxing break is coming up, but it never comes. You know, like, oh, in 2 weeks it'll be less work. No, it's always the same work for her, like she or him. And
We'll say her. We'll say her.
they're always just she or him are always doing so much work. It's very admirable. So
yeah.
So in total, I'm looking at my list right now. I applied to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 schools.
12. Okay.
12 schools. So far, I have been accepted to 8, denied from 1, waitlisted from 1, and then 2 apps I have not heard back from so far.
Oh, okay.
So it's been this year's been really crazy for people.
Mhm.
I have had a relatively fortunate experience
Yeah.
with college admissions. My deny has been from Columbia. My waitlist is from Georgetown, and then like some accepts from a bunch of DC schools and stuff with some pretty good money, and things like that. So I think like it is just so crazy how like I look at this, and it's just like names, money in school, like and like honors programs, but like that's the culmination of like 150 hours of like nonstop like educational labor
Yeah.
and like writing like papers and stuff like that. And it's just so crazy that this has existed for like the last 4 years of my high school career, and I didn't discover it until now.
Until like not even less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And then it just became.
It became your life.
Yeah, it became everything you did. Is like, okay, you plan your whole week around college. Okay, like today I'm going to get this essay down. Today I'm going to fill out this part of the Common App, this and that. It's just a lot. Like, and I remember finishing it in December. Yeah, when we got back from Christmas break, I worked so hard over those past 3 months that when we came back, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I just worked super hard. Like, there's no college stuff left to do. Like, why am I in school? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I'm going to talk about, like, finish my story, and then I'll let you guys just take over just to give an idea, and then we'll update after enrollment are due. So I am most likely going to attend the University of Pittsburgh. I received the STEM scholarship there, which is a full ride, which is really exciting. I was waitlisted from when I started this whole experience, my number one was Georgetown. I was actually waitlisted 3 days ago, which isn't like the best of news, but I think I'm still pretty firm with Pittsburgh because Georgetown is a ridiculous amount of money. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Princeton, but like Princeton, they accept like robots only, so I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, I applied to 7 schools, and with film school, what I kind of learned is it's very it's just hard to get into like any of the big names. So I got into 2. I got waitlisted from 2, and I got denied from 2. And so it's 2's all aboard.
Who are you waiting from?
And so USC, I hear back in 2 days, but it's USC.
That's like the most selective out of all of them, right?
Yeah, 2% acceptance rate. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll probably commit to SCAD, which is one of the ones I got into. So
yeah, I applied to 11 schools. I have been denied from 4 and accepted into 3, and I've been waitlisted by 2, and I'm waiting for 2.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah, it hasn't been the best. I mean, I applied to like very selective schools, I would say, and especially this year, it's been different. Like, I don't want to say harder, but it's been different because test optional, and there's a lot of different things that they're looking for, which you don't necessarily know. And there's obviously people who took gap years, who did other stuff, and surge of applicants, and their acceptance rates are going down even more. So, I mean, there's a multitude of different reasons, but I think this year was a lot different than previous years. And personally, it was very difficult to get over those. Like, I remember when I got my first deny from UPenn, I applied like early decision there, and it's like a binding agreement. So if you get in, like, you're going there. And I remember when I opened the application and like it said denied, I was like dead. Like, it was like a overwhelming sense of being devastated.
Yeah,
because like it just feels like you've done so much and there's just no merit to it.
Yeah, and there's always this blind optimism that you have for no reason. Like USC, I'll be here back in 2 days. And I know logically, like, I'm not going to get in. But for some reason, there's this little thing that's always in you that's like, but what if? You know what I mean? Which just kind of...
And you, like, don't even want to think about it because that'll, like, change, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Change your mood and then just lead to more disappointment. Like, I really, really thought I was going to get into the Columbia program that I applied to. And it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And, like, it was devastating. But, like, I'm like, so happy the way... Like, I applied to 12 schools. So I'm looking at 1 deny so far, which is, like... great, and it just makes me like I'm kind of glad that it happened because like it would have been outside the US, and like with COVID, I don't really know how that would have played out and stuff like that. But I do think everything happens for a reason in college admissions, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
How do you feel about well, we've all been waitlisted by schools. How do you guys feel about those?
I hate it.
Okay.
It's like what because then you have to pay a deposit before you even hear back.
Yeah.
From a wait list.
I mean, it's terrible, but like I understand why I have to do it, but I hate it as well.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like they know probably like that's the thing that irks me every single time I think about it. Like they know. Like right now, the 2 schools that I'm waiting for, they already know. Yeah. And like they just don't tell you until they're ready, which is great.
Oh, you're talking about like pending applications.
Pending applications or waitlisting. Because like I'm heard like
waitlist. I think this year waitlists are so different though because they have no idea what their retention rates are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I heard waitlists are going to be super long this year.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be waiting until throughout the summer to like
I
see what happens.
Georgetown's final waitlist date is May 14th.
Oh, wow.
Mine is June 15th.
I don't remember my dates. I thought they were.
They give a great date because like they're like on there. They both times they've released decisions though.
Yeah.
For I applied early action was deferred and then waitlisted. So I have been waiting on this application since October 28th.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But they just randomly like they released it like 3 days early. It was like didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, that's what NYU's doing. I don't know if you know.
They're releasing on the
Mhm.
31st.
31st, and it was supposed to be April 1st, but it's like they're doing.
They're releasing waitlists on the 31st?
No. Regular decision.
Oh, regular decision on April 31st.
No, March 31st.
Oh, March 31st.
Tomorrow
Oh,
we
wow.
got our
Okay.
regular decisions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is like I love getting them like mid-March. It's just like so much nicer than waiting until April. But first I want to talk about the percent of students that attend college. So we go to a college prep school, so we're looking at 100%.
100% get in,
Yes,
not 100% go.
Yeah.
I think last year was 100% went.
No, a couple of two kids took a gap year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're right. But it's still so much higher than the national average.
Yeah.
The national average of college enrollment rates in 2000 was 63%. In 2018, it increased to 69%. And that is, like, compared to like what our parents grew up in, a crazily high number.
Yeah.
Like college is becoming almost a professional necessity to have a degree.
Unfortunately.
Especially master's degree. It's not even like undergraduate anymore.
like
you need a graduate degree to even be like a good person in the job market, you know?
Yeah. I think it really just depends on the job market. I feel like that's
Sure.
a little too
like law
broad, actually.
or medicine.
Well, yeah, obviously law and med, you need,
Yeah, but
you
like,
need a
even
law
like-
degree and a medical degree.
Even
But
like business.
Even biz, yeah,
you
finance.
need an
Yeah.
MBA. Like you can't
It's
work
true.
off of a bachelor's.
But you said you need an MA or a
MBA.
MBA. That's
Oh,
2
yeah.
years?
It's
Yeah.
2 years. more.
Okay.
But it's just like crazy how the perception of the importance of college has changed
It's
in
crazy.
the past like 10 years.
And it's kind of crazy how like much of a necessity it's like becoming to be, or at least the public believes it to be. Like, I don't know. I feel like we should very much promote like people doing what they want to do. You know what I mean? Even if that means like entering the workforce, you know, right out of high school. I don't know. It just depends what someone
Yeah.
wants. I feel like it shouldn't be looked down upon as wouldn't we say it's kind of looked down upon if you don't go to college? But,
Especially like in a college prep school. Like if you don't go to college, it's like why?
yeah.
And that leads me to the cost of college in the United States. The average total cost of public colleges in state is around $25,000 a year. Out of state is $40,000 a year.
Oh my god.
And private colleges is $51,000 per year. And that is tuition. That is not including room and board, fees, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
wild.
Crazy. And then you look at like those numbers compared to the average earnings of white men in the United States, $52,000. White women is $42,000. Asian households have the highest median income with $87,000 per year. And like it's just so crazy how the wealth disparity has changed in the United States to kind of like take over the importance of college. Like
Yeah.
it's become impossible to prepare for college, which leads to like a huge student loan debt crisis in the United States.
The two don't align. The
Exactly.
income and the cost of college. Like it's
Mhm.
just not
But like the
affordable.
cost of college is literally more expensive than what most people make in 1 year.
Exactly, yeah. But what's crazy too is that like our parents went to school for like $3,000.
My dad worked in the summer and paid his college tuition.
My mom did too. That's not possible these days. You work in the summer.
You don't make $80,000 a summer.
And that's
You're
one.
gonna get a
and
new
that's
job.
2 years. That's
Yeah.
average 2 years. Listen, you work 4 years, and you're all throughout high school. Like if you're insanely lucky, you make like 15 grand to like 20 grand. That's like loads of money that you could make.
Wait, as a student, a year or in the summer?
I mean, in the summer.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the highest, and that's not
like
even
insane.
Yeah, and that's not even 1 year of
Yeah.
at the average college. So it's kind of like ridiculous now because why do we go to college, right? We go to college to continue our education and kind of enter the workforce and at a more at a higher level almost, or something like that.
And people are just entering the workforce 40 years in debt.
Exactly.
50 years in debt. Like the student loan crisis in the United States right now. Guess how much student loans or like the student loan debt in the United States are right this second. Give me a number, Paul.
$4 billion.
Trillion.
4 billion? Bro, I wish.
I think it's like over $1 trillion, right?
It's almost $2 trillion.
Seriously?
$1,850 billion.
Oh my god.
Like that's inconceivable.
This
and
is
it's going up. This is a live tracker. It goes up like $3,000 every second.
Oh my god, this is the thing. That education should not just be for the rich. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we're getting there more so than we used to be. I can't imagine a world in the 80s when our parents went to college and I pay $3,000 to go to school. It's
and
crazy.
We're saying this from a college private school. Think about like public school kids whose parents don't make as much money. How do they, like, I don't even think that's not even an option anymore.
Yeah.
College. It's like that inconceivable. They have to do something
collegiate
else.
enrollment rates are increasing. They're only going up. Like it's just so crazy. Like the I was talking actually to your mom, Cole, this weekend about this, and we just were like, we came to the conclusion like it's gonna burst. This bubble's going to burst. The only question is when. Like it like this is not sustainable.
What do you mean the bubble's gonna burst?
The people, like the enrollment rates versus how much like college is gonna cost.
Yeah.
Either people are just gonna not go to college, or college is gonna have to pay less. Or the government's gonna have to do something, or individual like just something is going to happen. This is not sustainable. Like this is like it's crazy. It's gotten this far already. Like I just want like something is going to happen, and like I think that's I don't know. I just think it's so crazy.
Who do you blame though? You know,
because
you can't really blame the colleges.
Yeah, exactly. You can't blame the colleges because they're just charging what it costs to run their school.
Yeah, like
they want their endowment to go up.
Yeah,
they want like their alumni gift rates to go up. They want like the best and the brightest students, so they have money when they get older to give as alumni. I guess like the work costs as much. Like look at what colleges are providing people, like insane research opportunities, like travel across the world, so the best professors in the business, things like that. Like, but why? Like, why is it so expensive?
Yeah.
Like, is it that people aren't getting paid enough? Is it that the government's not subsidizing education enough? I don't know when to draw that line. Like, we're talking about externalities in micro right now. Like, is the positive externality being met to the degree it should be?
I don't know. I feel like it's probably a multitude of all those different things. I would say it's more on the colleges, to be honest. I don't think they need $80,000. Some people it's like $75,000 per student, and they have like 4,000 students or like 6,000 students, right?
Well, I mean, look at the way financial aid applications work, right? There are students in the lowest bracket who are paying like obviously very little, as they should be paying very little because they can't afford the education.
Yeah. And
then there's people who can write the checks like it's nothing. And then there's the middle group, right? And I think that's a theme in American economic practice where there is this middle group that gets forgotten because they make too much to qualify for financial aid, but they make too little to be able to write the check. And I've talked about this with our guidance counselor, but like that's perpetually where these individuals who are drowning in student debt live, and that student debt prevents them from changing where they live. Like this system benefits the rich. Like it keeps the middle class in the middle class, and it like largely can keep poor people who have to pay that much for education in like it just keeps people in their place. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like that's a mentality which I don't think we should like. It may be a reality, but
it's true. I just think it's fundamentally true.
But I don't know. I feel like that doesn't mean you can't like go from the middle class to the upper class. Like you can't. Like I don't think that.
I think that's. I mean, obviously,
you can stay in your place. Like I don't think that's a good mentality to have.
I mean, it obviously doesn't. Like it's not a complete staple to that place, but it is a structural and fundamental block in economic growth. that I think people face. And like saying like it's a mentality issue is so wrong, and it puts the blame.
No, Niral's just saying that, like, although that's probably true, that it does kind of deepen the disparity and keep people where they're at. He's saying, like, as an individual, it's not necessarily the best mindset. Or
like, I'm sure it's not the best mindset to have, but I think we shouldn't, as a society, focus on changing the mindset, but focusing the way education functions in this country.
Yeah, because it's completely unfair that, it's a fact that, if you're if the poorer you are, the harder you have to work. You know what I mean? And it just shouldn't be that way at all. Mm-hmm. My issue just comes into the sense, like, how do we fix it? I can't. Do you put a government cap on colleges? But I feel like you can't intervene in that sense. Like, I just don't know how we fix it, and that's why I think there will be a bubble burst socially, where as a society we're going to either be like, okay, let's not go
a move away from like undergraduate degrees into professional certifications, maybe into like focusing more on your art. Like, if I want to become an engineer, like, why would I get a 4-year degree where I'm taking like literature, like, and things like that, and like, I guess, like, history and stuff, instead of getting into your work if you want to? I mean, and I think that degree isn't valued in society. And I think maybe that's a change that can happen.
I actually disagree with both of what you said. I think, Cole, what you said about the government shouldn't intervene, I think they should. The college is not a business. Education is not a business. I mean, it's not private business.
Government intervenes all the time. Like,
I know,
there's public schools. Like, I think it's natural.
Yeah, I'm just saying, to what extent?
Yeah, but I think
they intervene in graduate school. I'm not saying I believe education is a right. I'm just saying, would the government actually intervening and putting a cap on what you can pay for tuition actually solve things?
Well, they do for public schools, not for private schools.
Yeah, but I think, but that becomes, it's like, private schools aren't businesses. That's what I mean. Private schools aren't supposed to be money-making machines that the government can't say, okay, well, you can't charge of this. Well, it's education. It's not a business.
Well, I agree. I agree.
I think the government should intervene.
I agree that they're not supposed to be, but they are. That's the sad truth. And it's the same thing with healthcare. Like, healthcare is supposed to be like focused on helping people, but it's about maximizing your profits. And unfortunately, that's what education is about as well, especially in higher education.
I think the government should intervene there, though.
Well, it's a business.
I disagree with that. I don't think it's about maximizing profits. I think it's like, when you're talking about these elite universities, I think it's about maximizing your brand as a school. Like, I think these higher.
What does maximizing your brand get you?
I mean, like, the baseline of what colleges value is their endowment rates, and like the U.S. News and World Report, like their placement on that list.
Well, why do they want that?
Because like it brings the brightest and the best to their school.
And why is that good?
Because they will have the most profound alumni network in the world, the most powerful name.
And then what does that give them in return?
I know you're trying to get me to say money, but I disagree. I don't think that's.
Well, I thought we were getting there personally, but
I think there are different. Like, I know you wanted me to say money each time, but like, there are alternative reasons.
Yeah, but there's a reason why you have, like, having successful alumni.
But like, there's not a CEO that's sitting and collecting all the income. There's not like an investment bank. There's not like a stock for it. Like, they get their money in endowment and brand, not through tuition charges.
Yeah, I see that.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that, but I mean, in the end, they still are a business. I don't know how they aren't a business.
And who's making the money? Are you saying? Like you're saying they're driven by money. Like, who is driven by money?
I'm not saying they're driven by money, but I'm saying they are a business.
Aren't businesses driven by money?
I mean, most businesses, sure, but I mean, I wouldn't say they all are. You know what I mean?
So what do you think? Like, so then why did you want me to just say money? Like, you're like orienting me to. Like, you were saying they were driven by the acquisition of money. No, I thought that's what you were saying.
Well, I mean, I guess a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like their goal is to maximize profits. It has become an economical thing for them. Why else would they be charging tens of thousands of dollars?
Why is their goal to maximize profits?
To get rich.
Who?
whoever's running the school.
Like
Who does? I mean, I don't know the.
that's what I'm saying. I
higher-
think the difference between a company and a school is the fact that there isn't a board or a CEO to gain all that money.
Well, it's not like there isn't a hierarchical structure in.
There is, but
the school.
their like salaries are not dependent on the success of the school.
I would say
That's
they are.
not true.
Like,
Like the
think that-
president of like Princeton has a set salary.
Yeah, but
if
do
he
you
does
think?
better, he's gonna get more money.
Yeah, do you?
She
Sorry.
is going to get
Apologies.
like not that much more money. Like she does not make that much money.
Wait, of course it's about
Oh,
the
yeah.
success of the school. If you're telling me that Delco Community College, the president of Delco Community College, makes the same as the president of Harvard.
They don't make the same, but it's not enough. I don't think the incentive is enough to charge each student like 20 grand more for school.
I see that. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's an issue. It's definitely an issue. I don't know who's to blame. I don't know what to do.
Hold on.
I wish I was a policymaker.
Hey guys, so I'm gonna
How much does she make?
back out of this conversation. I was totally wrong. She made $4.6 million last year.
Yeah,
Come on.
okay, there we go.
Come on.
I thought they had like set like I thought they were just
No.
like the chairwoman of a company. Like that's crazy.
That's
And
what
you
I'm
can't.
saying.
But my thing is too that like you can't blame them because like they're just.
You could totally
I
blame
feel
them.
you
They're horrible
can.
people.
I feel
Yeah.
like you can. You
I
have to
feel
blame
like you
them.
can. Yeah.
Like who? Like what I'm saying is, with your analogy to healthcare, who are you blaming for healthcare? You're
That's
blaming, You're
true.
blaming the private guys.
That's
who are
true.
Getting the money.
That's
That's
true.
I'm
You know what?
saying.
That's fair to say. I feel like there does have to be some type of like.
Oh,
Like-
sorry. I was talking about Penn. I was saying Princeton. I was talking about Penn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some point where like human dignity and the value of human life like kind of
That's what I was like.
should overrule your goal to maximize profits.
And since that's not being done, that's why I feel like the government has the responsibility to intervene in private schools, even to put a cap on that, to say you can't increase it above this range. I feel the government has to intervene because, like, I believe education is right, and you believe that too, Cole. But
Yeah. I don't. My question is, I don't know if it's the government that should. I think maybe like we should. Like it's up to us as a society to say no. You know what I mean? We run this place, not the government.
That's true.
Okay. That was a good little tangent.
This is so much that just happened. In
Let's
this past-
orient this a little bit more towards. I think another huge organization that's to blame is the college, the motherfucking college board.
Oh, the college
Why?
board.
They are
Yeah.
a Satan
Oh.
organization
Oh yeah,
of demons and
Oh, yeah.
devils.
they're the worst.
So, in elite education, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think a desired SAT score is?
Above 1,500.
1600.
You don't
No,
think you
no.
can get a single question wrong?
No.
No, I'm saying that's the desired one.
Well, just you know what I meant.
What's like
Give me a range of like what like in higher education. Give me a desired SAT score.
1350 and up.
Like any higher institution, or like elite institutions.
Like schools with like a 50% acceptance rate or lower.
Okay, then probably 1,400 to 1,470.
The average SAT score in 2020 for students was 1051.
Yeah, that's bullcrap.
Am I not the only, am I the only one blown away by that number? That is crazy town.
That is.
That is crazy town. And you look at the numbers by wealth. Wealthy people scoring an average, or people who make over $150,000 per year scoring an average of a 1420.
That's crazy.
Like.
Oh my god. The more I think about this,
Tell me that's not the craziest thing in the whole world.
that is crazy. But the more I think about this goes to just a conversation we've had before. Is that like, you know, the problem isn't even just college. It's rooted in just how we systematically set up education.
Families making a household total less than $60,000 per year, the average score is a 920.
Oh my goodness.
These are institutional structural barriers to change your economic status. It is, and I think it comes from these private companies who determine your eligibility to attend higher education.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's completely unfair. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a perpetual cycle of
It's like so hard to be open-minded about this. Well, maybe the college board's good. Trevor Packer smiles in his
That's why.
videos.
I mean, that's why a little bit I've been trying to be like, well, like, what do we blame the colleges? Like, does the
I
government
think
intervene?
it's you blame the colleges now that they're paying Amy Gutman at Penn $3.6 million a year. You blame her now. F that lady. She's a jerk. She actually worked with my
Hey,
mom at
she could
Princeton.
be a good person. We don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
I hate her now. I hate her so much.
I sent you guys.
She forfeited her salary last year though.
Oh, she did forfeit her salary last year?
That's good.
Yeah, she had some left over from last year.
But yeah.
She was busy making over what is that number? If the average year salary is like 55 to 60, it was at 60 times the average year salary. She had some.
That's crazy.
She had like a little bit left.
Yeah.
Stan Amy got that.
But yeah, I sent you guys an article about private schools.
Yes.
Yeah. I was blown away that, there's some stats in there like the elite institutions like Harvard and all these schools. They primarily, like over 2/3 of their class is private school people.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's like from systematically.
Yeah.
That's a problem because like public school kids or people who can't afford a private school education are automatically disadvantaged. They can't get to those elite institutions.
Yeah, it's totally unfair.
And like, I mean,
Just
we
like-
attend private school, and I've talked to people in public school about their college guidance. I think college guidance is a huge part of this.
100%.
It guides your incentive, it guides your energy, it guides your morale. And our guidance counselor has been a champion of that the entire time, I think.
And your knowledge. Like, if you don't even know like what these schools exist,
Yeah,
or,
like our guidance
how to
counselor has like
apply,
opened up like, oh, have you checked out this program?
Yeah.
Send me scholarship opportunities.
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
it's
that.
just, it's unfair that we have that
And
and
just,
other
like, such-
people don't. It should
Yes.
be the same standard
And,
everywhere.
and like amazing encouragement and stuff like that. And like I was talking to my friend Tara, who we talked to in the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
About like her experience with college guidance. Hi Tara, I know you're listening. And like it was just zero of that engagement. It was zero of that energy. It was zero of that morale. Because like in public schools, these people are probably paid $45,000 a year. They're probably told that here are 300 children. Figure out where they're going and give them the tools to go there.
Yeah.
And it is impossible. The standards are crazy. We have like 56 kids in our grade here.
and our guidance counselors still worked every single day. So imagine 300 kids.
Mhm.
Impossible to even have an expectation of putting your 100% for all these 300 kids. It's impossible.
Yeah,
And I think
it's-
like in public school, it's a lot more normalized to not attend a higher education. So like when teachers are like, what's really interesting, like at work, I've gotten the question like, "Are you going to college next year?" And like, I'm like, "Yeah." Like, why didn't you ask me where? Like, it's just such a cultural difference, I think, in the way that we're educated. Like, where like here, I feel like you wouldn't even start to ask somebody, "Are you going to college?" You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like maybe you should, but it's not natural, you know? Like in the vast majority of cases, that question's like
Yeah.
completely obsolete.
Yeah, it's just completely unfair.
Yeah.
Well, this is a really optimistic talk. We'll pick it up after we decide where we're going to school. But like,
I think it's key to
guess
remember
what?
too that
We all participate in it.
yeah, we do.
I applied to.
That's
a lot of
true. We
schools
do
and paid the fees
participate
to
in
all
it.
of them. Like
We
all
do
did it.
participate in it, and it is. We do have to admit, like with the money that colleges are able to get, they do an amazing job. Like I mean, at educating. I don't.
Yeah, totally.
No, I'm
I
not
agree.
saying. I'm not saying that they are like commendable, because obviously we just talked about how every college in the United States, or most colleges, any education system takes part in this, including ourselves. But I'm just saying, with the money that they've been given, they have been able to do extraordinary things. But
What extraordinary things are you talking about?
I mean, look, college campuses are literal
Like,
cities
let's talk
these
about
days.
let's talk about Pitt a little bit.
Yeah,
Like gorgeous, I thought.
gorgeous.
I really loved it. Like it has the second largest educational building in the world, besides there's one in Moscow. I mean, the cathedral. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. There's like the museums, the towers. Like it was just a really really cool campus. And like the fact that we have those expectations for all of our schools is crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
is.
It really is just crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'll pull up like look at like I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Vanderbilt's campus or like Richmond's campus. Like these
Yeah.
are like we're paying this much money and we expect to go to like little cities designed for us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That it's extraordinary that like colleges have to like
Totally.
become like cities. Like Villanova, in a way, has taken over the town. Like there's a new term now, like college towns. Like it's literally wrapped all around it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a good thing though.
That's fair. Okay.
Might not be a
That's
good thing,
why
but
I don't
it's
think
a
it's
good thing.
extraordinary, because it's like if you get enough money, that's expected, and number two, I don't think you should be doing it anyway.
Yeah, true. Okay, so then maybe I shouldn't say they've been doing a good job. They've just been
Also,
doing something.
They've been doing
with
a
it.
job.
Yeah, they've been doing
Yeah.
a job.
Also, I think like a lot of what my dad says is that college, Ivy League, or you go to like a place that's not an Ivy League, doesn't really matter, because what matters is what you do with it. And if you go to an Ivy League institution and you do nothing there, and you go to like a lesser institution, not I won't say lesser, but like a lesser esteemed university, and you do a lot with it, you're gonna end up in a better place anyway. So I don't. My dad doubts the validity of Ivy League institutions because they don't do a lot anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they could be doing so much more in propagating education and helping people be actually game changers, world changers.
Yeah.
Like you hear about one. There's 4,000 kids at Penn
This is the quick.
who do nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what I mean. Like if you're paying that much and you have all these facilities, 4,000 kids should be training the world.
That's fair. That's a really good point.
Give me the number for Harvard University's endowment rate in 2019.
Oh.
Or not endowment rate, endowment.
$10 billion.
What's that?
$10 billion.
$10 billion.
Endowment is the amount of money they.
It's like how much the school's like worth,
Yeah,
right? It's like
worth.
they're like alumni network.
Harvard?
Harvard.
I'm gonna guess 15 million.
$41 billion.
Oh my
Goodness.
God.
That's not
This
a real
is-
number.
guys, this is what I
There's
mean.
never been 41 billion of anything.
This is what I mean by it's a market. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
part of the economy, and but you know we believe education's a right. So you know
and like the scandal in it. Like, do you remember like the hearing
the
of all
SAT
this?
scandal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so
Not
much.
only the SAT scandal, the just admission scandal.
Yeah.
Like everybody like LA, like USC, Georgetown had a really bad one.
Yeah.
I don't want to come
Crazy.
off as bitter, by the way. I think like
I guess we are coming off bitter because I
Like-
feel like if I was like immediately got into Georgetown, I'd be like,
yeah.
well, there's merit. And it's like
Yeah,
that's,
that's
what I mean.
that's,
Like,
a good point to recognize. Maybe that's our little open-mindedness for the day.
Yeah, I don't want to come off as bitter, but maybe I am because I
Mm-hmm.
did get denied from 4 of these big institutions. So maybe I'm a little bit bitter, but I don't feel like
There's a lot to unpack. There's so much in this
Yeah.
conversation. So I'm excited to pick it up in May. You want to bring it back up when we?
Yeah, we can talk about it when we're enrolled,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
when we pay deposits and stuff.
All right.
That's exciting.
It is
and
exciting.
we will have heard back from all of our schools with such a wait list by then.
Yeah. Let's.
So you're waiting on USC.
Yep.
You're waiting on what 2 schools now?
Michigan and Boston
Boston University or college?
University.
I'm waiting for NYU and Princeton. What? Oh wait, you're waiting on NYU too.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Oh, waitlisted by Michigan and Boston.
Oh
and
no, I was talking about what haven't you heard from
Columbia and NYU.
Columbia, NYU. When Columbia's the 6th as well.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Just want to hear back from Princeton. Maybe we can do a little FaceTime and cry together.
Hell no.
All right. Let's move on to thoughts on the cast.
Thoughts on the cast. Thoughts on the cast. Thoughts on the cast.
So, what did you guys think about my kind of small topic about flying cars? And if you want to throw it in the poop pocket at the end, if you want to talk about that.
we are keeping that so far. I don't even want to
Wait,
think
isn't
about it.
it kind of funny we went from poop pocket to flying cars to conspiracy theories to college admissions and the economy? Like, that's
So funny. I mean, I think that's a linear
growth.
of academic conversation.
It's like we're growing up while doing the podcast. Anyways, yours kind of made me very excited for the future and very hopeful, and it also humbled me a little bit with how advanced we are. Like we're not going to have the flying car in 10 years, so it kind of humbled me in that. but do you disagree? Do you think we're gonna have
2023. I am waiting for Aero Mobile to do it for commercial use. Okay.
Listen, my biggest takeaway is that like I'm just excited for what humankind has in the future, has to offer in the future.
Yeah, I definitely felt that like excitement. I just like I wish all of our transportation technology just like they had a little thoughts on the cast themselves. They came together. They were like, guys, we can combine this situation. We can combine our efforts and like just make something better, hopefully greener, because our transportation culture right now is not sustainable.
Yeah.
And something has to change.
Yeah, I definitely felt the excitement, and I'm not an engineer, like I don't think that way, but it's so cool to think about, like a car that can fly. Insane. I love it. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. What do you guys think of my kind of conspiracy theory topic?
I think I was just gonna hit with the sentiment of doubt all, like because the only thing that can happen from doubt, I think, is either like reaffirming what you think or like coming away a more informed and open person. I think like we didn't really talk about this a little too much, but this was kind of what I got from it is like that's like it's a great sentiment to have, and I think it works in the vast majority of cases. But I think like sometimes doubting everything internally can lead to almost like a deep sense of mistrust in all institutions that we've seen a rise of in recent times, which I think could be dangerous. Yeah. But I think in like moderation, it's healthy.
Maybe a lack of identity too. Like when you're always doubting everything. What do you stand for?
What are you? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think what I got from it was that in whatever you believe, there has to be some concrete evidence or concrete facts behind it. You can't just believe it just because you believe it, or you can't believe it just because you want to be against the other person who believes something else. So that's what I got. Like you need to have some basis to then say, okay, this is my opinion, or this is what I think is true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What I probably took away the most is that, like, in the pursuit of truth, like the inherent kind of nature of it is that, like, is to challenge. You know what I mean? So I think it is really important to challenge what you believe, even if that means, like, we sat there for 2 seconds to think, oh, maybe there's flat, and then immediately we're like, no way. Like, that's okay, you know what I mean? And I don't think necessarily I don't think, what am I trying to say? I don't think challenging your beliefs means you're not very hard set on your beliefs, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I still fundamentally believe very strongly that the earth is round, but just because I doubt that for a second doesn't mean that, I'm not someone who has strong beliefs or something. Mm-hmm. But I hope that this is like a topic we continue, like we could do like conspiracy theories every once in a while.
Yeah, great. What do you guys think about like a little collegiate update, and then talking about like the college system in general?
Yeah, I didn't know the numbers. Like those numbers are crazy. What you talked about, even the cost of colleges compared to the median income, and then you talk about the endowment of those types of colleges in like.
And apparently, Amy Gutman's salary, that lady.
Yeah, $4.6 million a year or something like that. Whatever that is.
Crazy.
That's insane.
It's literally, that makes me sorry. I'm totally interrupting your thoughts on the cast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you like stop that?
But it's made me really agree with Cole a lot more. Thinking like this is literally a business, and she is a CEO. Like, it's crazy. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I think I kind of reaffirmed what I think education's a right, not a business, like you were saying, Cole. I think that's very important, like to go forward with as we look to make change.
Yeah, it's similar for me. It's just I've realized there's a massive problem with this, and systematically with how we view education and how it's presented in all its formats. I feel like there's a lot of change that should come. So I don't know how to approach that yet, but the first step is obviously talking about the problems. So
I kind of said a little bit what I thought already, but it just such a frustrating way that college works. And I just wish it was oriented towards like the good of all people a lot more. and just how like selectivity is influencing like professional job rates and things like that. And I'm looking forward to be able to finish our conversation later in the year.
All right.
Okay. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. You can follow me on Instagram at jake.lorenz. You can follow Cole on Instagram at cole.2.kelly. And you can find Niral nowhere because he doesn't have a life. Feel free to follow our podcast Instagram at The Open Minds Pod and our TikTok at The Open Minds. Thanks, everyone. We hope to see you next week, and remember to always keep an open mind.
In a world that's too closed-minded, we're here to